All right, what's up, guys? It's TRO back with some more Cardinals news, and pretty much today I'll just be going through uh, the bullshit that I saw yesterday. Um, I was planning on doing my post game the other day right after the game, but I needed time to calm the fuck down. I needed time to process what the hell I literally just watched the other day. But I'm gonna be giving my thoughts about it. Um, just to quickly warn you guys, this may be a rant. It may not be a rant. I don't know. I'm going to try my best to keep my cool. But the Cardinals, long story short, they fell 20-17 against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are now 5-0. Cardinals fall to 2-3, and their home struggles remain. Now, shit, my bad. But I mean, where do you even start when it comes to this game? I mean, there's just so much bullshit that happened. I mean, offensively, especially in that first quarter, I mean, we didn't do anything. Second quarter, at least we were able to pick it up a bit. We got back in the game before halftime. Um, of course, you guys already know me. I'm not blaming Kyler for any of it because, I mean, how can you really blame him? But if it wasn't for Hollywood and Zach Ertz dropping catches before halftime, who knows? We probably could have gone into halftime with the score 14-14. And then we come out of the second half. Philadelphia's getting the ball back. We give up a field goal. I can't really give any hate to our defense. I mean, they pretty much did all they could in this game. I mean, besides the fact that they allowed the Eagles to completely drive down the field late in the game when we needed to get a stop, which gave them the go-ahead field goal, brought them up by 3, and then you guys know what happened after that. Our kicker missed the field goal to send the game into overtime. But, I mean, I was prepared to lose this game. And for the people that saw my live stream, you guys obviously heard me. I was extremely pissed off. I actually did a rant about it, and I lost control of my fucking temper. And I do apologize for that because I used some really foul language. But at the end of the day, I kind of needed to do it just because there's so many fucking delusional people in this fan base that expect us to do so much when we're not really set up properly. But for the most part, Cardinals, at least, I even said too, if we were to lose this game, I at least wanted us to go down swinging, and that's exactly what we did. So I'm not I'm not saying this is like, I mean, it is a bad loss, don't get me wrong, because I mean, yesterday fucking Lamb's house and the Seahawks looked like pure and utter dog shit, and obviously everybody knew the Niners were going to beat Carolina. So with this victory, we could have been tied for first place in the division. And I mean, obviously, like every other opportunity, we really get to do stuff like that. We end up blowing it. But besides the point, I'm going to get straight to the topic, which is, my thoughts on basically what happened the other day. So, a little bit about our offense. Obviously, at home quite recently, our receivers have been dropping the ball a lot. Like I said, I thought we needed to get Hollywood Brown involved a lot earlier in the game and not wait until the second half, which we ended up doing. He actually had the touchdown, which got us, which started our momentum in the second quarter. And Zach Ertz, who, for a receiver that didn't really have the big play or whatever, had a pretty decent game besides the drop pass that he had before halftime, which could have given us the tie. But overall, offensively, I mean, Kyler Murray did all he really could. Cliff Kingsbury's play calling, the thing, I mean, it was going okay. I mean, the first drive, it was a 3-and-out, but right after that, it was going okay until he ran a jet sweep with Rondale Moore, who's pretty much playing on one hamstring right now. He ran a jet sweep with Rondale Moore, and I think it was Gardner Johnson who tackled him for the loss of 5 yards. I mean, don't even get me started on Kyler's interception as well on that next drive. I mean, he just tried to force feed to a double coverage Hollywood Brown. So, I mean, that was about the only dumb decision Kyler made in yesterday's game was that interception automatically first play of the drive. He tried throwing it so deep. What do you know? Picked off by Gardner Johnson. But like I said, pretty much offensively, I mean, the offensive line was sort of mediocre, especially Kelvin Beachum with those penalties. He was driving me nuts on especially those penalties. I mean, we didn't really have a lot of penalties in this game, which I'll give our team that because we're normally known to be a really high penalized team. But in this game, we didn't really start picking up penalties until the second half. And Kelvin Beachum especially. Obviously, we already know that our O-line was going to be bad in this game. Rodney Hudson went down. Justin Pugh was playing injured in this game, who he also missed a block today too, which led to a sack. So we already knew our offensive line was not going to be good heading into this game, especially with the Eagles' pass rush. I expected Kyler Murray to run the ball a lot more in this game, which I'm pretty sure he only ran it, 2 or 3 times, which is another thing I'm about to talk about, which is our shitty play caller of a head coach. But offensively, they did everything they really could, if you ask me. I mean, for the most part, at least, for a team that only scored 17. Defensively, same thing. They pretty much did all they could as well. I mean, Zach Allen with a really good game. Dennis Gardeck and Marcus Golden, I don't know where the hell they've been. Especially Marcus Golden. I haven't heard his name at all this season, to be honest with you. Besides the Chiefs game, that was about the only game I was impressed with him. But J.J. Watt, obviously, who had a really good game last week, didn't. I mean, he had a few good stops. Don't get me wrong. He had the quarterback hit on Jalen Hurts, which gave us another opportunity. Our defensive line in total, not that bad, especially, I mean, I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts was their leading rusher. So we were able to keep Miles Sanders in check pretty good until the last drive that Philadelphia had, where Philadelphia was trying to get clock off, and Miles Sanders ran the ball a lot more, which led to first downs. And from what I saw, I mean, for the most part, Vance Joseph, on the other hand, not as bad as it was against the Rams. But as far as he goes, why is our defense not playing good until the other team gets in our own territory? Like, why is our defense not really making good plays until the Eagles are in our territory offensively? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, in Carolina, I know they're probably the shittiest team in football right now, but we held them to 9 points. It kind of looked like our defense was picking it up for the most part. I mean, after that Rams game, held them to 20. Our defense did all they could in that game. Same thing with the Panthers. Our defense did all they could, which led us to the victory. And in this game, you hold them to 20 points again. But I mean, we started off terrible defensively, of course. I mean, I think, was it their opening drive or their second drive where they automatically got a touchdown on us? Yeah, it was their opening drive. Jalen Hurts with a QB sneak in for the touchdown, who actually had 2 rushing touchdowns, by the way. But defensively, I mean, from what I saw the other day, all I really saw was Jalen Hurts dumping screenplays to Devontae Smith and Miles Sanders running the ball. Sometimes Jalen Hurts would take off with the ball, which I expected as well. But for the most part, A.J. Brown didn't have a good game on us besides the first drive. The only time I ever heard A.J. Brown's name was the first drive of Philadelphia, where they got the touchdown. 3 catches for like 38 yards or something like that. I think that's what he had on us in that drive. Other than that, I didn't hear him whatsoever. Dallas Goedert, who had a pretty big game. I mean, he had a few big plays, which kept the Eagles' drives going. So he had a pretty solid game, which our coverage for tight ends has always been pretty bad. But Devontae Smith was their leading receiver, and I predicted it too. I said that on my preview. I said that on the preview I did with Philly Sports Talk podcast. I said, with the way the Cardinals have been game planning with these big receivers lately, I wouldn't be shocked if Devontae Smith was their leading receiver and was the guy who was able to lead Philadelphia to a good offensive game. And God damn it, that's what happened. He was their leading receiver. I know he didn't really have that much, but I mean, he was the reason why the Eagles would pick up first downs, which would lead them to getting a touchdown or two and a field goal or so. But I mean, defensively, that's what I want to know. Like, why are we waiting until the other team gets in our own territory to start playing good? Like, why can't we just play good from the start? I know that's a lot to ask for in the National Football League, but, like, I mean, we can't wait until the goal line. We can't wait until the red zone for our defense to start playing good. That's not going to win us games. How many times did the Eagles punt in this game? I mean, I know they punted a lot, but I mean, it didn't really start until what, the second quarter? Or no, maybe even the second half. I could be wrong. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in this game, and there's a lot to improve on. But yeah, defensively for the most part, though, I'm not taking credit away because they pretty much did all they could. Don't get me wrong. Byron Murphy and Buda Baker, shout out to them. They locked up A.J. Brown. They brought a lot of blitz pressures on Jalen Hurts on third downs when we needed it. I'm giving those guys credit. I'm giving our defense credit for the most part. Don't get me wrong. The only thing I was confused about was that we weren't playing good defense until Philadelphia got to midfield or so. But let's get to some of these comments. What's up, YTC? Haven't heard that name since he played for the Giants, Marcus Golden. I mean, last year, not the worst year. I mean, but so far this season, he hasn't really shown up, which we gave him a 1-year extension through the 2023 season. So I need to see more from him. But hey, well, damn, what happened? The Eagles suck, though. I mean, they're a 5-0 team, so I'm not gonna say they're like that bad. A 5-0 team is a good team, but I mean, we had so many chances to win this game. So many fucking chances to win. What's up, CarCast? Isaiah Simmons' performance, I mean, kind of typical. I mean, one game he'll play where like he's a top 10 linebacker, and then the next game he'll completely disappear, and that was just that type of game. But as far as our defense goes, why is Marco Wilson on the field so much? This dude is a bum. I know Trayvon Mullen was out today, but why is this dude on the field? Why is this dude guarding A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? I mean, would Marco Wilson have even been able to guard, what's his name, Quez Watkins, who had a couple catches? Like, why is this dude Marco Wilson on these big receivers? He's not good. He gives up so many yards, and he blows coverage all the time. Why is he on the field? Why'd you even draft this guy in the first place? And I'm about to get to Steve Keim's bitch ass here in a second. Like, why? I just don't get it, man. But, overall defensively, like I said, I'm not trying to take away credit from them because they did all they could. They held the Eagles coming into this game were averaging 435 yards a game. And we held them to 20 points. So the defense did all they could. I'm not blaming them for this loss whatsoever. But I'm gonna get back to our offense. Like I said, I mean, if it wasn't for Hollywood and Zach Ertz dropping the 2 passes before halftime, we probably would have gone into the game or into the second half with the game being tied, and we probably could have gone into overtime. But typical Cliff Kingsbury making Kyler Murray throw it, trying to overthrow Rondale Moore, who's 5'7", which, I mean, I get it. Before halftime, we didn't have any timeouts, so I get it. But at the end of the day, we could have tied that game going into halftime, and that's not even the end of it. I mean, why is Rondale Moore getting all of these snaps? This dude was questionable to play before the game. Like, you have Greg Dortch. You have Victor Bolden. You could have at least called one of those guys up a little bit more for some snaps. Rondale Moore's playing on one hamstring right now, or one knee, or whatever his injury was. I forgot. But this dude's basically playing on one leg right now. And you're making him run jet sweeps. Now, don't get me wrong. Rondale Moore, for the most part, had a solid game. For a guy that was playing injured, he converted that 3rd and 17, which I found really impressive, especially because the intentional play call was supposed to be a screenplay, and he ended up turning it into a big gain. So I'll give him credit for that. He kind of saved Cliff Kingsbury on that play call right there. But it's like, coming into this game, I thought Rondale Moore was going to be out. I really did. I was expecting Greg Dortch or Victor Bolden to go out there a lot more. But obviously, he played, and for the most part, he played good. For an injured guy, he played good. But it's like, why are you still making him run all these jet sweeps? Like, this isn't college. You're not going to get a good play out of that every single time. I think, how many jet sweeps did we run in that game? Quite a few. And only one of them, as far as I know, actually ended up going in the right direction for us. So the play calling, on the other hand, And, this is another idea, too. And I even said this on my Twitter as well. I'm heavily convinced that Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury do not like each other anymore. I'm honestly convinced. I mean, ever since the argument that I saw between Kyler and Cliff in Carolina week 4, I'm convinced Kyler doesn't even want Cliff to be here. Like, even you can even tell that Kyler Murray wants a change in this team, starting with our fucking coaching staff. Like, I'm just saying, like, am I missing something? Am I, like, forgetting something? Because by the looks of it, Kyler Murray was super, super pissed off in the interview. And for the people that are saying, oh, Kyler Murray could have gotten the first down, why did he slide so early? Well, first of all, according to so many experts, apparently the scoreboard in the stadium said it was first down instead of 4th and 1, which is why we kicked the field goal that made us lose the game. But so I'm not blaming Kyler for that, because if, the scoreboard people fucked it up for us and said it was first down when it was really 4th and 1 and we needed to kick the field goal to go into overtime, then you can't really blame Kyler or Cliff Kingsbury for that. But overall, like, I'm just saying, am I the only person that thinks this? Am I the only person that thinks Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury kind of don't like each other anymore? Or at least, am I the only person that thinks Kyler doesn't want Cliff to be here anymore? Am I the only one? I'm just saying. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Just based off of what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, that's just what it sounds like. But, and I know there's some people out there saying, oh, hire an offensive coordinator and blah, 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 blah. First of all, Cliff Kingsbury, from what people are saying, said that he would retire before getting an offensive coordinator on this team. So basically, he just said, fuck you to Steve Keim. I'm calling plays whether you like it or not. And, if I'm Steve Keim, I'm not really giving a shit. But obviously, we have a poor front office like that. So, it is what it is. But there's there's people saying, oh, get Sean Payton as an offensive coordinator. Okay, first of all, excuse me, have a head cold. But anyway, a guy that won a Super Bowl as a head coach, whether it was Bounty Gate or not, I don't give a fuck. A Super Bowl winning coach. Do you really think he's going to accept a spot as an offensive coordinator? As a fan base, and as a front office, yeah, no question. They probably would have accepted that. But do you think Sean Payton would really want to come to Arizona as an offensive coordinator? Didn't think so. I mean, Matt Rule literally just got fired today. I don't give a fuck if it's Nathaniel Hackett's first year coaching. Who knows? Maybe Denver will consider they fucked up. They need a new change. Matter of fact, Cliff Kingsbury, I'd throw him in the hot seat right now. What's his record as a coach? Because it's below 500. I can tell you that. I don't know the exact record, but his record as a head coach is below 500. And this isn't even like his second year. This is year 4 of Cliff Kingsbury. This isn't year 1. This isn't year 2. This is year 4. 4 years we've had to put up with this shit of terrible play calling, stupid college plays, and our quarterback forcing to do stuff that he doesn't want to do. I mean, if I'm Kyler Murray, I'm basically saying, fuck you, I don't give a shit what you say. I'm going to do what I want to do on the football field. And listen, I'm not worried about Kyler Murray's leadership anymore. I think that's gone up tremendously, especially after the interviews that he's been doing and his confidence going up and all that. I mean, I'm just saying, no one wants Kingsbury on this team, and you can tell. Like, I'm just saying, like, we're not getting an offensive coordinator. That's number 1. Number 2, even if we do, what really that could cause like terrible chemistry between the coaching staff and the players, because we all know Kingsbury doesn't want to give up calling plays, and Kingsbury's not going to let Kyler Murray call plays. And every time I've seen Kyler call plays, we won games by a hell of a lot of points. But the head coach has all the power. He's not going to let our quarterback call plays, which we've seen Josh Allen do it. We've seen Mahomes do it. And look at what they've turned into. Josh Allen had, 4 passing touchdowns the other day in the first half. Mahomes, who's probably going to beat the living shit out of Vegas tonight, which he does all the time, but, regardless of that. That's another thing, too, the home record. When Kingsbury came out and did his postgame interview, there was a reporter that asked him, what are your thoughts on the 8-game losing streak at Arizona? You want to know what his response was? He said, I don't have an explanation for that. How the fuck does this guy have a head coaching job? I still figure out to this fucking day, how is he a head coach in this league? I mean, come on. You could have gotten Eric Bieniemy when we fired Steve Wilkes. You could have gotten Eric Bieniemy. I mean, shit, you could have gotten so many guys out there. But no, you pick a fucking coach who failed to coach with a winning record with Patrick Mahomes and Baker fucking Mayfield. To this day, I still figure out, how is this guy our head coach? How is this dude getting less smoke than Kyler Murray's getting right now? Because I bet you, if I go on Twitter, if I go on Instagram and look at what everybody's talking about, they're like, oh, how's Kyler Murray's contract working out now? This dude's overrated as fuck. He should have slid earlier and that would have gotten, or later, and that would have gotten you guys the first down to try to win the game. Bitch, like, Kyler Murray came out and said he does what he's told. Who do you think, and that's another thing too, when he said that, he basically did two things. He took a shot at Cliff Kingsbury's play calling, and he said, I want to run the ball a lot more. But Kingsbury's not going to let him do it because he doesn't want him to get injured, because Kyler Murray, every time he runs the ball, he does get injured sometimes, occasionally, which every time he's run the ball today, it's always turned into a changing drive for us. And like King Savage just said, his favorite plays are jet sweeps and screen passes. This isn't fucking college anymore, dude. Like, get your head out of your ass. I'm trying, I feel like we really should have won this game. We really should have. I'm not even going to blame our kicker, even though we did miss by a hell of a margin. We shouldn't have even needed that game-winning field goal in the first place. We really shouldn't have. So many fucking opportunities, even before that field goal was missed. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see that fucking kicker on the field for us ever again. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, going into overtime in that game, it would have been good for us too. What's Kyler Murray's record in overtime? I know he hasn't lost an overtime game yet. This season against the Raiders, sure, he didn't win us the game. Our defense did. But, hey, at least he got us back in that game. Just like yesterday, we were down 14-0. He got us back in the game before halftime. The Seahawks, his second year. Kyler Murray won that game for us in overtime to give Seattle their first L of the season. His first career game. Went down swinging against Matthew fucking Stafford. I know it was the Lions, but I don't care. That was his first game. Kyler Murray's never lost an overtime game yet. So going in overtime in that game would not have been a bad idea. Obviously, our kicker fucked it up for us, but we shouldn't have even needed to go into overtime for this game. And I'm going to go back to what I said about Philadelphia's offense. When I was watching that game, all I saw were screen plays to Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders trying to run the ball, which it didn't amount to shit besides their last drive, and Jalen Hurts taking off on a QB draw, which besides the 2 touchdowns he had, didn't really do that much. That's all I saw from the Eagles' offense. A.J. Brown was nowhere to be found, and I predicted it. I predicted that we were going to lock his ass up in that game, and that's exactly what we did. A.J. Brown didn't do shit besides that first drive. Dallas Goedert had a couple big plays, didn't really do anything afterwards. All it was Devontae Smith doing screen plays and the Eagles' offensive line blocking our defensive backs, and Jalen Hurts taking off with the fucking ball. So, I mean, I'm not trying to take credit away from the Eagles because they're 5-0. They're obviously a good team, but Jesus Christ, our defense did all they could. Our offense had so many opportunities. We had a chance to win the game. Like, go fucking do it. I'm just saying, if we continue to play like this, I expect at least Cliff Kingsbury to be gone. Steve Keim, I wouldn't be shocked if he's here next year. But Kingsbury, this is his 4th year here. It's not like this is his 2nd year. He's had so many chances to turn this culture around, and it's done nothing besides us missing the playoffs and getting our asses whipped in the wild card. So, I'm just saying, Philadelphia's offense didn't really do shit against us. Just saying. We had so many chances to win this game. Our defense did all they could. And that's another thing, too. People are saying, oh, we're going to bounce back against Seattle next week. Are you guys even sure of that? Can we really bounce back against the Seahawks next week? Geno Smith is playing out of his fucking mind right now. Okay, yeah, their fucking defense is trash, but our offense can't pull the pieces together whatsoever. I mean, week 1, we scored 21 points. Week 2, we scored 20, what was it? 29? Week 3, we scored 20. Week 4, we scored 26. Week 5, the other day, we scored 17. We haven't even scored 30 points in a game yet. The Seahawks, on the other hand, in back-to-back games, they scored 48. I don't give a shit if it was against the worst defense in the NFL. They still scored 48 with Geno Smith. And then the other day, they scored 32. But obviously, their defense sold them the fucking game, which, don't get me wrong, I found that hilarious. But at the same time, answer me that. Are we even sure we're going to bounce back against Seattle next week? I mean, the only thing that's giving me confidence and why I think we're going to win is because we're on the road. And us playing on the road is about the only time we play like an actual fucking football team. Because at home, we haven't won a home game since week 7 of 2021. On the road, though, our last, 13, 14 games, we've only lost, 2 road games, including the playoffs? Just 2 road losses in the last 2 years. That's it. So clearly, I mean, that's another question too. Why can't we just win a fucking game at home? Like, why do we have to wait on DeAndre Hopkins to be good? Why do we have to wait on Hopkins to come back for us to be a successful home team? It's like, okay, I get it. Statistically, our offense is way better with DeAndre Hopkins. I get that. And I even believe it too. But I'm sitting here watching this game and I'm looking at our roster and I'm like, we like with or without Hopkins, we still have the offense that it takes to be a successful offense. Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz, Antoine Wesley went down with an injury, so he's gone for the rest of the year. Rondale Moore. I mean, I'm just saying, we have this offense, and I know James Conner and Darrell Williams went down the other week, but Benjamin had a really good game coming off the bench. He actually had a touchdown, which tied the game. So I'm just saying, you guys tell me that. Why do we need to wait on DeAndre Hopkins to be good? Why do you guys think when Hopkins comes back? And you know what? I could be wrong. Maybe when we do get Hopkins back, we're going to win so many games. I could be wrong about that. But, I mean, I'm just saying, we're 1 game without DeAndre Hopkins. 1 more game. And he comes back Thursday against New Orleans. But I'm just saying, do you guys really think we have what it takes to bounce back against Seattle? That's my question to you guys. I think we're going to win. But would you guys be shocked if we lost? Because me, with the way our offense has been, to be honest, I really wouldn't be shocked. We tie with Seattle every year. I mean, we do go up to Seattle and beat them all the time, almost every year. But Geno Smith is playing out of his mind. I didn't expect him to play this good this season. What is he? Isn't he leading the NFL in completion percentage right now? I mean, he's leading Seattle's offense better than Russell Wilson did last year. And I'm going to save Seattle for another video, another preview or whatever. I just want to know, like, I get it. Yeah, Nuke is the heart and soul of our offense. I get that. But, like, we have the offense that it takes to be good without DeAndre Hopkins. Even last year, we had a good offense without him. At least on paper, we did. But in general, we didn't really do good. So, I'm just saying, with or without DeAndre Hopkins, we should be a really good offense either way. Hollywood Brown, Kyler Murray, that connection is amazing right now. Throughout the first 5 weeks, Hollywood already has 400 receiving yards and I think, 4 touchdowns? He's our leading receiver in receptions. I mean, everybody thought when Hollywood got here, he was going to drop balls and be the reason why we didn't score. But obviously, he switches quarterbacks, goes back to his Oklahoma quarterback, and he's balling like a motherfucker right now. So, and Zach Ertz, who for the most part is having a solid first 5 games. But obviously, other guys like Rondale Moore went down with an injury, so that's an excuse for him. Greg Dortch, why are we not playing him? Rondale Moore is injured. We should be playing Greg Dortch a lot more. That's all I'm saying. We should be playing him a lot more. But, D-Hop is coming back on next Thursday. But I mean, I'm just saying, like everyone's saying, when Hopkins comes back, we're going to be the best offense in the NFL. To be honest, we should be a top 10, maybe slightly chanced a top 5 offense without him right now. That's how I feel right now. But we're not showing it. Our play caller doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And Kyler Murray, who absolutely looks pissed off at our coaching staff right now, which, I mean, can you blame him? I'm just saying. And, yeah, that's another receiver, too. Where the hell is AJ Green been? Yesterday, the only thing he really did was get us a key third down conversion. I mean, if Rondale's injured, you could at least get him involved a lot more. AJ Green can catch the ball. He has really good hands. He can pick up a first down or two. So that's just what I'm saying. Like, there's so much talent on this offense still, but it's so horribly mismanaged. And yeah, obviously Hopkins is going to make plays for us when he comes back, but look at our remaining schedule. So, Seattle, their defense is trash. I expect us to win that game. The Saints, who are struggling right now, especially if Andy Dalton's playing against us, yeah, we better beat the living shit out of them and end our home cursing streak. Who's after the Saints? The fucking Vikings? I could be wrong. On the road, I think we play Minnesota next. So, I mean, with our upcoming schedule, are we going to need DeAndre Hopkins? Yes. Do I really think we really need him to be a good offense, though? No, I don't. I feel like we have what it takes to be really successful as an offense without DeAndre Hopkins. And we gave Kyler Murray a huge-ass contract. I'm not saying he's not proving it because he hasn't really turned the ball over as much, and he hasn't fumbled yet. His accuracy for the most part has been okay, aside from his receivers dropping the fucking ball all the time. But for the most part, is Murray living up to the contract fully? No. But is he somewhat paying it off for us? Yeah. So despite all of that, we have what it takes to be a really good team. And listen, you guys say we should be honestly what? You guys say we should be 4-1 right now, 3-2. I think we're lucky that we're 2-3 right now. And this is me being realistic. I think we're lucky to be a 2-3 team right now. If it wasn't Derek Carr choking, and if it wasn't Josh McDaniels being a failure as a head coach, we'd be 1-4 right now. We were lucky to get that win against the Raiders. Carolina, they stink. Yeah, that one was a no-brainer. We should have won that game, and we did. I think we're lucky to be 2-3 right now. That's just my opinion. You guys can do what you normally do and cuss me out about it, but that's me being realistic. We are lucky to be where we are right now, especially with our division. This division is still up for grabs. I know I sound super pissed off right now, but to be honest, being 2-3, I feel lucky. That's just me. We could honestly be the worst team in football right now. But I'm not saying we got lucky in those 2 wins, but we should not be that pissed of being 2-3 with our schedule, with the mistakes that we've made so far this season. We should be lucky with the record we have right now. And before I end the stream, I need to talk about another thing. The only thing that's confusing me as far as Kyler Murray goes. Has Kyler Murray even been like, is he really considered a clutch player this year? I mean, come on. Besides the Raiders game, yes, he got the 2-point conversion twice. He got us into overtime in that game. But Kyler Murray didn't win us the game. Our defense did. Like, has Kyler Murray truly had a game-winning touchdown yet in his career? I could be wrong. I could be forgetting a game. I've seen a ton of Kyler Murray in my life. Even at Oklahoma. Has he ever had a game-winning touchdown pass or something like that? I could be wrong. I could be forgetting something. But as far as it comes off the top of my head, I haven't really seen that from Kyler Murray yet. It's like, when you pay a quarterback $230 million, you at least also want them to be clutch as well. Which this season, for some way, somewhat, Kyler has been clutch, especially against the Raiders. and somewhat against Carolina too. He put the game on seal when Hollywood got that touchdown. So I'll give that to him. His clutch ability is kind of going up a bit. But it's like, once again, I'm not blaming Kyler for the loss we took yesterday, but I mean, Kyler could have ran out of bounds. He could have done something. We could have gone for it on fourth down and get the touchdown and send Philly's ass home with a first loss. But obviously, Kyler couldn't get the game-winning play down, and our kicker missed the field goal. So, hey, that's just what it is. But I'm just saying, dude, like, can there at least be one game I watch where when we're down with 2 minutes left, Kyler Murray doesn't choke? I'm not saying he choked in the other game. I'm just saying, like, in the future. Can there just be at least one game where we need a touchdown to win the game under 2 minutes left? Can Kyler throw a game-winning touchdown? And can we not go into overtime and rely on our kicker to kick a field goal? Which is what we did yesterday, and obviously the fucking kicker was a disgrace. I'm just saying, I want to see Kyler be more clutch. That's about the only thing I want to see out of Kyler Murray going forward. Other than that, I'm confident in him. I will always support Kyler Murray no matter what. Everyone's going to blame him, but at the end of the day, people who actually watch Cardinals football know that this is not his fault. Kyler Murray is not the reason why we are 2-3 right now. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. But Cardinals, at the end of the day, they take a 20-17 loss against the now 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles, and the Cardinals fall to 2-3. We got the Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field next week. Normally we win there, so I expect us to win that game. But hey, with this team, anything could happen. So, like I said, can we bounce back? We should. But quite frankly, I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't, just with the way our offense has been lately. But let me know what you guys think. I am going to be doing my Week 6 pick prediction video right after the Monday night game tonight. And I will be doing the preview for the Seahawks game sometime this upcoming week. And I will be going live for the Cardinals game, obviously. And I'll probably go live for a 10 a.m. game before that as well. Probably, if a division rival's playing at 10 a.m., I'll probably do that game. But we'll see what we got. I mean, the Niners are playing the Falcons next week, so they're going to keep first place probably next week. Rams are taking on Carolina. That's going to be a win probably. So this upcoming game is a must-win for us. We can't afford to go last in our division right before Hopkins comes back. We need to gain some momentum before he comes back. So that's where I'm at, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this game if you weren't able to make it to the live stream. But that's all I got. Go Cardinals. Cardinals fall to 2-3. Hopefully we get a bounce back next week. But anyway, guys, have a great rest of your day. See you guys in the next one. Go Cardinals, and peace out.